It's time to level up and become even better in Baldur's Gate 3 with these 17 tips and tricks. Number 1. The Speak with Dead spell highlights corpses you can talk to with a green shimmer after you used it once. A lot of great stuff can be discovered when communicating with the dead, but this way you don't have to try it on bodies that have nothing to tell you. Simply recast it on a corpse with a green shimmer and you know it has something to say. Be aware though that some corpses do not speak with their killers, and note that you will have to use the spell once after a long rest for the recast and the highlighting to work this way again. Number 2. Instead of consuming a heal potion with a bonus action, sometimes it can make sense to spend a regular action to throw it instead. For example, you might be out of spell slots to cast a healing spell, or a companion could die before your healer has their next turn. In that case, simply throw the heal potion next to your ally and you can heal them this way. Also, you can heal multiple characters with a single potion whenever they are standing close enough together. Number 3. Throughout the world you can find a ton of stuff, and some of it you can highlight while exploring by pressing the Alt key on your keyboard. When clicking on one of the highlighted items, you can then also have your character pick it up. Number 4. Sometimes you lose track of all the things you can loot. Simply use the Alt key here as well and look for the additional information on the things you can open. An asterisk at the end means you haven't checked it at all yet, and if you emptied something already, it usually says so as well. Number 5. Reactions are incredibly strong if used properly. In order to do so though, you have to make sure that they require a confirmation whenever they get activated. Without, they might activate in situations you don't want them to. You can change that for every reaction individually, and it is highly recommended you activate this request on all of them for full control during battle. Number 6. Make sure to not miss out on conditional bonus actions you might unlock throughout your turn. In this example here, I attack the enemy with my greatsword. First, you can see a reaction request pop up. Remember, we just talked about how this level of control can increase your combat efficiency. Now, after having spent all my actions, I still have a bonus action available. If I check my hotbar to the right, there are additional options beyond my regular bonus actions. In my case here, there is an extra bonus attack from the Great Weapon Master feat. This is a more powerful use of my bonus action, so not something I want to miss out on. Number 7. On top of your companions, you can also buff any summoned creature that you control. So always make sure to expand your group as much as possible before using party-wide spells. This applies to both summons that stick with you longer, as well as those you might only bring out right before a planned fight. Smaller summons with a low amount of health points get much more powerful, for example, when they suddenly are able to tank a few hits because their total hit points went up. Number 8. Many spells last for multiple turns, including area damage spells. But this is not always something you actually want. In that case, make sure to check the cancel option next to the character's portrait at the bottom left and easily stop whatever spell is active there. Number 9. Reaching the high ground gives you a flat bonus of +2 on your attack rolls. This is obviously a good thing. Your surroundings do not always favor you here though, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on this bonus. You can carry boxes with you, stack them before or during a battle, and climb on top to unlock that extra bonus. Number 10. Many effects can be combined. While this isn't as strong in Baldur's Gate 3 compared to Divinity Original Sin 2, it still opens up opportunities for extra damage or other advantageous options. For example, you can blow up a grease surface for extra damage and to create a fire surface, or you can extinguish the fire with water to create a steam cloud as cover. Number 11. In some fights, every damage counts, and for that, lots of different sources can be used to dip your weapon in, granting you a temporary bonus for your attacks. Next to potions, spells, and a variety of existing surfaces, you can also dip your weapon into fire. You don't have to rely on your environment for that though. Simply carry a candle with you and drop it onto the ground whenever you need that extra boost. Number 12. When exploring the world, you don't always want your entire party to follow one another. The easiest and fastest way to avoid that is to press G on your keyboard. Doing so unlinks them from one another and you can freely move individual party members while the rest stays put. If you want to change that again, just press G again and all party members close enough to your selected character start following again. Number 13. Some things you can do during combat do not cost you any actions. For example, you can loot enemies without losing out on your turn's combat efficiency. Even better, you can also drop boxes in the middle of a fight and climb on them to get the high ground, as mentioned earlier in the video. Doing so during battle does not cost you any actions either. It simply requires a bit of movement speed when you climb on top. Number 14. Vendors run out of gold quite often. This is true as well in times you still might want to sell something. One option to mitigate this a bit is to time your level ups accordingly. Whenever a character of yours completes a level up, vendors in the game reset. One thing that happens here is that they suddenly have new gold again, allowing you to continue your selling spree. Number 15. Pressing the O key on your keyboard activates the tactical view. This can be extremely helpful when trying to get an overview of the battlefield. Especially when it comes to movement decisions, it can help to determine the best way forward. Pressing O another time brings back the default camera angle. Number 16. Sometimes you have things that block your view, making it difficult to target the enemies you want to attack. In those instances, be aware you can also use the portraits at the top to check them. Selected enemies are further highlighted with a red glow, and you can activate actions this way as well, allowing you to attack something you otherwise might not have been able to target as easily. Number 17. You need 40 supplies for every full long rest, but carrying it around with you can quickly become a heavy burden. The easiest way to handle this is simply to send everything straight to your camp, and when you want to rest, ignore the warning that says you don't have enough. When you enter the camp and click on a bedroll, it still takes all the supplies in your traveler's chest into account and allows you to complete a long rest without any penalties. This is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I do hope there was at least one nugget in there that helped you on your own journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and see you in Baldur's Gate 3.